It does every day. That especially I mean, there's a little bit of differences between, like, improv and stand-up, so I kinda toggle back and forth, and I'm sure I will for our conversation, but in just simply learning some of the basic thing of improv is yes, and those 2 words help me. I literally think of them, or especially if I'm mad or frustrated, I say them out loud to myself to get through the moment, and I have used this every day of my life ever since I first learned them almost 20 years ago. Because yes, very simply put, is accepting and acknowledging what is. Whether we like or agree with the thing, it's simply an acknowledgement tool and is an action word of what to do next. If I even have to take ownership over it too, like that's a nice thing too, is sometimes I can just simply acknowledge that something is there and not let it derail my whole day, not let it affect like really any kind of reaction. So that is what just it lives in my mind and my soul every single day, and so it really helps me to see, like, what actually matters and what are things that just don't matter, and so many people who don't look for, like, challenging themselves to grow and to ask themselves hard questions about, like, their own belief systems, for example. I mean, that goes kind of extreme, but that's how it's affected my life. I've changed my religious views over time. I've changed my political views over time. I've done a lot of things in how I've decided I want to parent because it is like this radical acceptance that I get to look at the world through. And it helps me to be very critically thinking of like what I know so far and what things really matter the most to pay attention to in every little nook and cranny of life.
It seems to be a really useful skill to be able to experience things as they happen, not be attached to them, know that they exist, but not follow that train thought
Yes.
pattern.
Yeah.
What challenges or obstacles in your life have has that helped you with?
The biggest one was well, there's a lot of big ones actually. I like they're pretty big. I actually ended up ending a marriage using yes and in as positive and productive way as I felt like I would have ever been capable of. I didn't want it to end as a yucky, terrible thing. I had 4 kids to raise with that co-parent. And the thing so this is like one great example, and I wish everyone understood it this way because even though we had disagreements on things and there was stuff that was irreparable for us to stay in that partnership, it reminded me that no matter how angry or hurt I got, I did not have to do anything mean or negative towards. It's almost like really trying to activate a high road and stay productive. Like I feel like I repeat that a lot, but it really is like so many people do get stuck and then they get in this victim mode and all these things happen to me or the state of the world will make people incapacitated to do anything throughout their day. They're just so consumed with everything that's going on in the news or whatever, right? And quite literally is the constant reminder for me to just gather the information, take in the data, and then be empowered with like, what people or resources do I need to get help from if I can't do it myself? And it just really helps the difficult things feel less like I take less personal offense too to it.